Warning, the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. We give full creative control to our creators and do not believe in cancel culture. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the MOWM studio, Boom Broadcasting presents The Nightcap. And your host of The Nightcap, mouthing off with Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nightcap here on Boom Broadcasting, hosted by yours truly. I am, in fact, the Mike that likes to mouth off. I am mouthing off with Mike, and we are back here. Feels like it's been a while. I think the last time I blessed you live here on social media, on Boom Broadcasting, on MOWM, was about 2 weeks ago. We were talking a little bit of some Crown Jewel or Night of Champions. They're all the same at the end of the day. Night of Champions Nightcap was probably the last time I saw you guys, maybe for the Raw Nightcap after, but it's been a while. And Boom Broadcasting, the platform that I am currently streaming on, had a milestone this past week, ladies and gentlemen. We officially turned 1 year older. Our 1 year anniversary of Boom Broadcasting was last week. So thank you guys for supporting Boom Broadcasting, for supporting the Prez, Michael Davis with Out of Pocket, Podcast Smitty, Shannon with Quick Hits, Sean with Wrestling of Destiny and It Stinks, Wayne the Model, the Commish with Sideline Savants, Jason, 3 from Deep, Chris with the Dugout Debrief, Aaron and Carson with their 2 numerous shows, Lombardi Party, Hoops and Helmets, the Gridiron Address. My goodness, of course, Papa Davis for Dad and the Boys. And of course, our good buddy Cody, man, from Drew Codes Talk. If I'm missing anybody, I am sorry. My brain only works so much. So thank you guys for being a part of Boom Broadcasting. Thank you guys for celebrating a year. And it is officially a year for the Nightcap, ladies and gentlemen. The year anniversary of the Nightcap is here. Unfortunately, I don't have my fellow compadre, the Perez Mike Davis tonight, but he might be back here later this week for a Nightcap to reunite. Anyone else on PLE burnout? Yeah, Rick. Not only am I on PLE burnout right now, brother, I'm kind of staring down the whole barrel of a wrestling burnout, to be honest with you. What's good, Mike? There he is. Say his name in here, Pierce. Podcast Smitty hanging out with your boy here on the Nightcap. Good to see everybody here. Thanks for hanging out with me. We got a lot of wrestling this week. So it's kind of, in the words of our boy, Cody Rhodes, it is apropos that I kick off the insane week of professional wrestling that we have coming down the pipeline this week. Listen, we have Monday Night Raw that just concluded about 8 minutes ago. We have NXT tomorrow. We have AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. We have Collision TNA on Thursday. Friday, we have SmackDown and Ring of Honor Supercard. Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 wrestling shows back to back to back. We start off with the Great American Bash for NXT, AEW All In, and then Saturday night's main event. They're going to be overlaps here, folks. We are going to be watching 3 wrestling shows at one point during the day on Saturday. I don't know as of the moment, if you're a Nightcap enthusiast, what the Nightcap is going to look like Saturday night with 3 different wrestling shows. I don't think we can do it, to be honest with you. But listen, never say never. I'm a man that doesn't believe in failure. So there's a will, there's a way. I'll figure it out to provide you guys with some great wrestling content this weekend. Maybe your boy says, fuck it, and we just live stream Saturday all of the wrestling. I just go full Dark Knight, Batman, Bat computer setup, and we're just locked in, and you're a part of the ride with me this weekend. We'll see. Stay tuned to social media. I'll break it all down. You know, I'll have some predictions for the wrestling shows for Saturday night's main event, for Evolution on Sunday, of course. How could I forget? Seems like WWE forgot about Evolution. We'll talk about it in a moment. And of course, I'll have predictions for AEW, Saturday night's main event, Great American Bash, Evolution. I think we also have some bonus shows in there. GCW's got a show as well. So realistically, we're talking like 6-7 shows this weekend. It's a crazy weekend of wrestling. I'm all aboard the train, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention, like, look, I am starting to get a little burnt out. One man can only watch so much wrestling. Now tonight, Monday Night Raw. We are in, where were we tonight? Rhode Island, I think. Is that Rhode Island? I'm pretty sure we were in Rhode Island. Providence, Rhode Island, ladies and gentlemen. We were in Providence, Rhode Island. We saw what I would consider a average go-home show for a Raw. There's nothing on this show tonight left me going, oh, hell yeah. I'm excited for insert premium live event here. Not really much on the show tonight did that for me. Here's, I think, where the big breakdown comes into play is they're advertising 3 shows this weekend, WWE. NXT, let's just take NXT. We're going to put it in its own little box. Box that up, slide it to the background. Okay. They have 2 shows that they need to promote. Saturday night's main event and Evolution. One of those shows tonight got the shine and the build and the advancements for stories. One of those shows got slighted. And if you just watched Raw, you know it was Evolution. So we kick off Raw with Seth Rollins and the boys. And of course, now the Oracle, Paul Heyman. I catch everything. I don't miss. I may not hit quick like my boy Shannon, but I don't miss the little details that they tell us on the promos and the packages and the things like that. I hear everything. The Oracle, Paul Heyman, you listen, Braun Breaker talking and Bronson Reed talking was great to see them finally open their mouths and just not feel like 2 big bodyguards behind Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins kind of doing his best, streamer, TikToker, influencer, impersonation where he's got these big bodyguards and he'll antagonize people and then they step in when shit gets real. That's how kind of Paul and that's how Bronson and Braun are kind of like for Seth right now. He's like, Seth's kind of a chicken shit, and then you got these 2 big bodies that he's gonna hide behind when shit hits the fan, which I love. That's very reminiscent of like the Authority set that we saw, when he had J&J Security, right? Saw some bits and pieces of that old Seth Rollins, that architect, that diabolical, makes the puzzle pieces fit where they need to, changes the game around, But seeing Braun cut a promo about his opponent tonight, Sami Zayn, hearing Bronson Reed cut the promo against his opponent tonight, Jey Uso, and finally, after what seems like an eternity, we acknowledge the elephant in the room, or the 6 tsunamis that Seth Rollins took on the behalf by Bronson Reed all those months ago, almost a year ago. And Seth was written out and yada, yada, yada. It was all based upon the fact that Braun hit him with the tsunamis, and out of the respect Seth gained for him, Seth asked him to join this group, this unnamed group. Now we know that the wise man is now the Oracle, not the wise man for Seth, which I like that detail. And now, I guess through a half-ass explanation, we know as to why Seth recruited Bronson Reed, because of respect. Hey, bro, here's wrestling for you. This is what wrestling, I love wrestling. You ready? Hey, bro, you cracked my ribs, 6 months ago, but now, after you cracked my ribs, I respect you for cracking my ribs, so I'm going to ask you to join the group. Right? You hear it, right? Okay, that's Wrestling Logic 101. Welcome to Wrestling Logic 101. I am your professor, mouthing off with Mike, not to steal Podcast Smitty's gimmick, for Professor Smith, we're bringing you to Quick Hits University over the last couple weeks. But I digress. Good opening start to Raw. I mean, big yap sesh, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Over the top talk. Welcome in, boys. Roman is so close to clocking in. Roman is, I think he forgot his employee number. I think he forgot his employee punch-in number. Yeah, I don't think he remembers it. I think they need to give him a new badge. He's been out for so long, I think his badge might have expired. He might have to get a new badge just to clock into the office, to be honest with you. Hello, even if it hurts, I've accepted 100% that Io Sky will lose the women's world title to Rhea at Evolution next week. Logan, never say never. They keep reinforcing it tonight again in the video package, which I felt was a disservice to Rhea and Io. You'll appreciate this, Logan. I thought it was an absolute slap in the face that the women's world champion, Io Sky, was not on my TV screen tonight in the middle of the ring in Providence, Rhode Island. It was a disservice to not have Rhea Ripley in the building tonight for their build to this match at Evolution. We have now seen them go at it from NXT to the main roster. Rhea has never beaten Io. Does that break at Evolution? You'll have to find out on my predictions when I drop them this week if I think it's true. But Logan, I think it's going to be a big distraction. I think Io will somehow walk out of there champion. I don't know how. I'll let you know. Make sure you catch the predictions and let me know what you think. Rick, our man, they backed themselves into a corner with Night of Champions, Saturday night's main event, and Evolution. 3 large shows in 2 weeks, and they only have 3 weeks of Raw and SD to book a 2-night SummerSlam. Ding, 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 ding. Nailed it. Hammer, nail, nailed it. Okay, right there. Rick is telling you in my opinion, they did back themselves into a corner, and I agree with you, Rick. I think WWE just kind of look. Why couldn't you do the Great American Bash for NXT Sunday last night, the day after, 2 days after July 4th? There was no wrestling on Sunday. We had nothing on this past weekend except some indie shows. You could have run the Great American Bash last night. Look, man, they're in a bad spot right now, okay? My guess is they will be called The Vision. I like that, The Vision. I went with, like, The Power, but, like, I felt that sounded a little too just icky. I like The Vision, the Oracle, The Vision. It would be a really good name, Rick. That's why they need to get us. They need to call us up. Roman's chilling with Dwayne on a yacht. Absolutely, they're fine, man. I look. Roman will show up when Roman's good and ready. That's it. At the end of the ball game, folks, the guy's gonna show up whenever the fuck he wants. Like straight up, point blank. Period at the end of that sentence. The guy's going to show up when he decides to show up. And if the creative's there for him. We're going to start off with Roxanne Perez and Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane beats Roxanne Perez tonight. Roxanne Perez, just as I predicted, I'm going to take my victory tour right now here on the Nightcap because I didn't do it. We didn't have a Nightcap or whatever last week or the week before. I don't remember the last time I've been with you guys, but I told you. A few weeks ago, I wish I could cut the clip in right here. A few weeks ago, I said WWE is going to do the exact same thing they did with Naomi, Bianca, and Jade, and it'll be Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne. Roxanne will become one half of the tag team champions with Raquel, so they don't have to strip her of the title. Then they'll play up the story that the Judgment Day replaced Liv. Liv will go on this insane run as a good guy, and she will be box office hitting numbers like nobody's seen because they replaced her. I nailed that. It's coming down the pipeline. Roxanne is one half of the tag team champions. They're going to defend those titles in a fatal 4-way match at Evolution for the tag team championships. We've got the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Raquel and Roxanne versus Charlotte and Alexa versus Soul Ruka and Zarya from NXT. Now, I thought the Dungeon Dolls, Natty and Maxine, were announced in this match, but I guess the Kabuki Warriors take precedent over poor Natty and Maxine. And honestly, WWE, at this point, I'd much rather see Natty outside of WWE than what you give us presentation wise in WWE. Let her bring that over. And the messed up part about it is I don't even want them to allow her to bring it over because they're gonna somehow screw it up and mess it up. And Natty's killing it right now. If you go on Natty's social media and you see some of the promotion she's done for her outside WWE matches and events that she's taking part in, she's killing it, dude. Like, it's insane how much of a downgrade that Natty is in WWE, and that's not her fault because we see what she can do when she has her full control, and she nails it. She's a savage. I like what I see from her social media, and I kind of am at that point where I don't even want WWE to use it because fuck them. They don't want to take advantage of it. Then don't take advantage of it. Let her do what she's doing because she's nailing it. So sidebar on that silliness. But we get all the teams now. We have somewhat of a build to Evolution, right? So here's one part of the build to Evolution that happens with Roxanne and Kairi here tonight. Kairi stands tall. Kabuki Warriors reunite after the Judgment Day. Raquel and Roxanne beat up Kairi Sane. They get the match. Pierce makes it official. It's official. Blah, blah, blah. He needs a drink. He still needs a drink, Adam Pierce. Kairi's still undefeated streak. One-on-one matches. There it is, Logan James, the Kabuki Warriors. I will drink to the Kabuki Warriors right here. On the Nightcap, folks, man. Love me, the Kabuki Warriors. They're great. But that's it. That's one of the only things that we saw advancement on with Evolution for that, right? The other thing was the Rhea Io video package showing how Rhea has never beaten her since NXT. They should have been in the building. How Evolution should not have been this weekend. Nope. Evolution should have been either next week or the week after, or they should have put it in end of August, to be honest with you. That was WWE mismanagement, solely terrible mismanagement, I think. Evolution build has taken a huge backseat to everything else going on in WWE right now. Saturday night's main event included. Great American Bash, whatever. Everything's fine with that. You're going to have people that are going to be clocking some maybe triple duty this week. You might see an NXT superstar wrestle at Great American Bash, be in the Battle Royal at Evolution Sunday. So you might see them having double duty. You might see someone having triple duty. We really don't know. There's so many different stakes that are on the line this weekend, and I can't wait to talk about them all, later this week with predictions and whatnot. But think about this. We have JC Jane and Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's Championship happening at Evolution. Whoever wins that match defends the title against Masha Slamovich at Slammiversary. So we may be in a reality where Jordan Grace wins the NXT Women's Championship Sunday at Evolution, defends it against Masha Slamovich at Slammiversary TNA, and Jordan Grace could end up becoming a double champion, holding the NXT Women's Championship and the TNA Knockouts Championship again, or the shoe could be on the complete other foot. Masha could be a double champion and take hold of one of NXT's championships since Trick Williams has a hold of the TNA Championship. There's a lot of different little pieces of details that we keep forgetting because of the partnership with WWE and TNA. What we see happens this weekend in WWE has stakes for what's going to take place at TNA Slammiversary. Breaking update. I thought it was title versus title, not winner take all. I thought it was winner take all. I legitimately, maybe I read the promotion wrong. I thought it was winner take all. Maybe I'm wrong. Rick might be right. Rick's usually right. They do always do dirty ass champ. She was an afterthought with Bayley. Yeah, she was. It was tough. But there's a lot of implications on the line this weekend, with Evolution, Saturday night's main event, and the Great American Bash. There's a lot of different things, what we could see come out of this weekend. Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn. Braun Breaker destroys Sami Zayn. Karrion Kross, great showing tonight here on Raw. He comes out, he beats up Sami Zayn and his broken ribs, hits him with the pipe. Braun Breaker hits this guy with 3-4 different spears in this match. He's done. Sami Zayn is ruled out indefinitely due to injury. That's the good news from the Oracle, Paul Heyman. Braun Breaker, taking care of business every day. Look, my man might be the scariest dude on that roster right now. The strength, the speed, the intensity. That guy's a freak. Literally a freak. The Steiner motto is there. Where are my freaks? And dude, this guy's a freak. The genetics in that family are nuts. Are absolutely crazy. Okay. Freak in nature. Destroy Sami Zayn. Have no problems with this. Sami Zayn, take some time off, brother. We'll see you in a few months. We'll see you just in time for maybe SummerSlam or something, or whatever happens. But take some time, Sammy. Rest up, recover. We'll see you back in a few weeks, maybe a couple months. I'm sure Jordynne Grace winning the NXT Women's Champion and TNA Women's Championship. Yeah, but see, the only reason why I think like if it's not winner take all and it's just title versus title, then I could see Jordan beating her, and just, whatever, keeping the one title. Now, depending upon how this works out with NXT and Trick and Masha and everything else going on there, all these different moving pieces, let's just say JC is able to retain successfully against Jordan. If that happens, then I think JC loses to Masha and TNA gets some bragging rights. I think TNA will get that NXT Women's Championship, and I think they're going to have a situation where maybe like a couple weeks before Survivor Series, maybe NXT and TNA has worlds collide and they have cross collaboration matches, which I think is a possibility at this point. I can't get over how much he sounds like his uncle. You're pathetic is the new he's fat. No, legitimately, legitimately, dude. He sounds more like his uncle than he sounds like his pops. It blows my mind. I have to sit there and remind myself, okay, Pop is Rick, not Scott. And then I'm like, wait. No, his dad is Scott, not Rick. You know what I'm saying? Dude, he's just like his uncle. He's fat. That fat shit. You take your 2/3, my 1/3, and his 1/3, and that's 2/3. Oh, I love it. You're right. It is winner takes all. Fuck yeah. Put one in the win column for MOWM for one. So it is winner take all. So I could see JC Jane retaining with some shenanigans from the Fatal Attraction gals. And then JC Jane drops to Masha. Masha double champ, TNA knockouts, NXT Women's. Trick Williams keeps the TNA championship. NXT women, TNA women, we start seeing more of them going back and forth, back and at it, trying to get the respective titles back and forth and whatever. I very well could see that being a possibility in the future. But no, facts. Sounds just like his uncle, not even his pops. We got to talk about it, guys. Get your chalkboards out, get your whiteboards out, start putting pieces of the puzzle together here, because I think we got to talk a little bit about our boy El Grande Americano. Now I want you guys to take a quick look-see here. And I think you already know where I'm going with this, folks. That is not the El Grande Americano that we have come to know. That's a different El Grande Americano. Now, if I was Wade Barrett, okay, and I was looking at this, I would have to say here, something doesn't line up with the nipples. All right, nipple placement's a little off. You know what I mean? Listen, El Grande Americano uno, El Grande Americano, his nipples are a little bit closer together. Now, El Grande Americano dos, nipples are a little bit further apart. Now, if I'm Wade Barrett, I'm taking the circumference here, the radius to the nipples across the chest here. And I can tell you right now, the nipple numbers don't lie. And it spells that this is not the real El Grande Americano. This is an imposter. Who is this? This isn't El Grande Americano. The nipple numbers don't lie. That is not the real El Grande Americano. Now, who is this imposter? His cut is impressive. El Grande been hitting that cardio. Listen, he's been hitting that cardio. And he also got that experimental surgery with the shin bone. They took a little metal rod, they popped it in his shin, and he grew about 4 inches taller. So not only does the nipples don't lie. Look, the nipple numbers don't lie. The height doesn't lie either because this El Grande Americano's taller. So I don't know what we got going on. So what do you mean to tell me? You're going to tell me that this isn't the real El Grande Americano? This is not the real El Grande Americano. Nipples don't lie. Check the scoreboard. Check the board. Score on the board. Oh, we are way too zoomed in. You guys do not need to be seeing me that close and personal. Hi, how you doing? We're back. You see the background? Nipples don't lie. Nipples don't lie. That is not the real El Grande Americano. It's El Grande Americano dos. Who is this El Grande Americano dos? Dos El Grande Americanos? Or we're going to have El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano for the winner of El Grande Americano? Like, you hear me out. We know who this is, folks. We know who it is. Okay. El Grande Americano 2 is clearly Ludwig Kaiser. That's European excellence if I've ever seen it. That's European excellence if I've ever seen it, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, like Wade Barrett said, if the nipples do not match, they are not the same person, folks. We're gonna have to hear from Wade. In the words of our boy Wade Barrett, the nipples don't match. It's not the same guy. Listen, enough about that. Nipples, numbers, and whatnot here. El Grande Americano, I'm tired of it. Let's end the bullshit, please, for the love of all that is holy in this world. I can't take it anymore. Becky Lynch tries to cut a promo. This is the other build. This has been the best build for Evolution. Right here, these three women, Becky, Bayley, Lyra, best build for the matches that we've gotten out of all of the Evolution matches. There's actually something really special brewing here between these three women. And I think their match at Evolution on Sunday has the potential to be a match of the year candidate. Now, Lyra stands tall at the end of everything, the yapping and the fighting. So that doesn't bode well for Lyra. If you look at Wrestling Logic, Wrestling 101, whoever stands tall in the go-home show usually doesn't win at the premium live event. So that makes me believe maybe Becky's retaining or Bayley's walking out of there as the new Intercontinental Women's Champion. But this right here, out of the builds to Evolution, has been the one that they have put time and energy and focus into, unlike some of the other matches that we've seen. They literally said here, in honor of the first Evolution, we're doing a battle royal. Like, we get it. Ode to the first Evolution. But that's not, all that screams to me is, hey, remember when we did that Evolution 1 and you guys were all happy and we, for 8 years, you said, hey, how about we get a second one? Well, we're doing it. And just so you can't bitch and complain at us, we're going to have a battle royal. So that means we're going to be able to put all the women in the ring at once. So guess what? It really is an all women's pay-per-view premium live event. That's a cop-out. But I'll let it go. It gets all the women in the back. And maybe not be doing shit this weekend. Gives them an opportunity to get in the ring at Evolution, be a part of history, be a part of the second ever. So am I really that mad about it? No. But I think it's a cheap and easy plot tool for WWE to make that claim and say, look at us. We put all the women on Evolution. We even did the Battle Royal like you guys love so much back from the first one. Cheap shortcuts. We're taking shortcuts now. I want Becky as still women's IC champion for now because Io will win it soon. Kabuki Warriors could also become tag team champs. I'm hoping they form a faction together. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see, maybe they just call them the Kabuki Warriors. Let's obviously, Damage Control, we lost Dakota Kai. The Damage Control will never be the same without Dakota. But I would not be mad if they just decided, hey, Asuka, Kairi, Io are now the Kabuki Warriors, or maybe the Sky Warriors or something, because they're all, Io and Kairi are high flyers. Asuka's more ground and pound technician, but maybe something along those lines, right? I see what you're saying, Logan. I like that idea. I like that concept. I do see Io as an Intercontinental Women's Champion in the very near future. I do see potentially Kairi Sane getting that IC title. I also see Asuka maybe getting it. I don't think Asuka will be a Women's World Champion. Maybe she'll get one rodeo at it, like one crack, on her time when she's ready to go, and hang up the boots and the And the wrestling gear, well, I couldn't think of the clothing articles. Yeah, wrestling, the tights, there we go. So I wouldn't be mad at that, but this was out of everything they're building tonight. They gave the most attention to the tag team division and women's intercontinental division, which I guess is what we really needed, to be honest. Because the fact of the matter is that those were the two weakest divisions for a while on Raw, especially the tag team division. But, when Liv got hurt, that screws everything up. As soon as Liv goes down with that injury, that takes away Liv versus Nikki Bella. Now that puts Nikki Bella in the Battle Royal. That also puts Stephanie Vacura in that Battle Royal. Possibly even Julia, because Julia is not defending the U.S. title at Evolution, which is a missed opportunity, in my opinion. You have the NXT Women's Championship. You have the WWE Women's Championship being defended. You have the World Women's Championship being defended. You have the IC Championship being defended, but you didn't do a U.S. Women's Championship defense, but you did a tag team title defense. You could have had all women's pay-per-view. You could have done what you have in place now. Slide in Julia versus Zelina Vega versus Chelsea Green versus pull a name versus Mishin. Big deal. Julia beats. Okay, she wins. She retains the title. Fine. You could have had that match on there. You could have had a fatal four-way. You could have still kept everything in place, had one more match. And then you really could have said, look, we put time and energy. We made sure every women's title across the main roster and the main NXT developmental brand was on that title. Natalia's fighting in Evolve this week for the Evolve Women's Championship. That's a title you could have put on the show. You could have had that as a pre-show match for Evolution to get eyes on Evolve. Small details, missed opportunities, shortcuts. They had 3 weeks to build the Evolution on top of building a Saturday night's main event, on top of building to NXT Great American Bash, on top of building all these premium live events just to counter AEW All In. And you can call it what you want, but Triple H is the king of petty. Petty. I'm going to enjoy all the wrestling this weekend. I will be watching All In, Saturday night's main event, Great American Bash, Evolution. I'm watching it all. So I have no problem. I will have that TV on, this TV on. I will be looking like I am in the Batcave. Okay, the Bat computer is up and running here. But shortcuts were taken with the build to Evolution. Some talent got thrown off. Some talent are going to be added in a Battle Royal, so you're getting more faces. Neither here nor there. I'm on a tangent. We're supposed to talk Raw. Evolution is a poor name for the PLE. It should be called Regression. Shit. Damn. Shooting from the hip, Mark. He ain't wrong. He's not wrong. It's when I looked at Evolution and I saw Corey, our everyone's newest, wrestling insider, Corey, tweet about Evolution is coming this year. My fantasy matches, my booking started going crazy. I started going off the wall. I legitimately, I started thinking about all of the crazy matches we could get. Like, oh my God, could we get Lita? Could we get Trish Stratus? We got her. Could we get a Tori Wilson? Could we get Kelly Kelly? Could we get Nikki Bella? Could we get Michelle McCool? Could we get Mickey James? Could we get Layla? Could we get Victoria? Could we get maybe Alundra Blaze? We don't get any of them. We get Nikki Bella and Trish Stratus. That's it. That's your legends. And they're going to, I know WWE is going to do a surprise or two in that Battle Royal. They're going to be like, hey, you guys didn't think we were going to call the legends up? Oh, we tricked you. We fooled you. Look, we put two legends like Jazz. Like, where's Jazz? We know she's back there. We know she's working. She works for TNA and WWE, I'm pretty sure, in NXT. One of the two, TNA or NXT. She's back there working. Look, what you want to say about Evolution is a premium live event that takes the past, celebrates the past and the road that was paved by the past women of WWE, WWF, and you're saying that that's going to pay, that's the history behind it. Like, that's the reason why we're doing this, to ode and show homage to the history and the women that paved the path for these women of this generation, but yet you don't include those past women in any capacity. You see where like I get why people are not happy about this. And me personally, as a massive advocate for women's wrestling, you know this from day one. I had a whole episode literally a year ago on why women's wrestling was ruling the world, running the world. And it was. And then we regressed and regressed and regressed and regressed. And we took steps back and we did this. Now we did this. It irritates me. If you're going to sit there and claim that the women that paved the way is an homage to them, have them be involved in some capacity. Don't just slap them in a battle royal and say, we're cool, we're good, fan service is good. This is dumb. Dumb, man. Like, you even see the legends on social media talking about it. And that's why I bring this up. Legends like Victoria, Layla, Tori, Kelly, all of those legends that I named, Alundra Blaze, all of them were like, where's our call? Like, they had Victoria out there at fucking Saturday night's main event the last time, just at ringside. Like, oh, look, oh no. She was at a fucking Raw taping. And they didn't do anything with her. They couldn't come up to terms on anything. They got her on a Legends deal, and that's it. She literally was at Raw like a month or two ago on Netflix. They showed her in the crowd and everything. You can't have her involved in that. You can't even give her flowers. She ain't the lady to mess with, bro. She was so cool. Michelle McCool is literally a coach for LFG. Mickie James was a coach for LFG. She's not anymore. Whatever. They're gonna show up in the Battle Royal. I'm not to sit here on the Nightcap Sunday night after Evolution and bite my tongue about this. And everyone in the comments can be like, Mike, you were wrong. Look, they included the legends. But that's not the point. It's not the point. We should have more than just Tiffany versus Trish as a one-on-one legends match. Build up to Evolution has not been that great. It was overshadowed by Saturday night's main event. Should have waited to do this after SummerSlam and given these ladies a true build. Yep. We said it earlier, Sean. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us here tonight. You said it. I said it. Rick said it. Mark said it. Logan said it. Wayne said it. We all said it. This should have taken place after SummerSlam. This is bad. I'm so happy for the women, but there's going to be something that's going to be said at the end of this, and they're going to say, or they just won't do another Evolution because they got outshined or outdraw or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's BS. Terrible weekend to have this premium live event, especially when half the women got hurt. You could have used the extra week of build to figure out your stories, but instead you rushed it. You said, let's just get it out. We're fine. Everything's good. Queen of the Ring should be the centerpiece of this PLE. Leave King of the Ring for Saudi Arabia. This way you get the semifinals on PLEs as well as the finals. Yep. Absolutely. And I think that would do a lot to put more of a focus on both of those tournaments. If you run King of the Ring for the 3 weeks onset to King Night of Champions or Crown Jewel, whatever the fucking PLE is going to be named at that point. If you run King of the Ring those weeks, and then you culminate at that PLE with the King of the Ring tournament, then you start up Queen of the Ring these last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, then you could have, I agree. I think that's the way they should do it. And I think that would be better going forward to have the tournaments separate and have one tournament start and finish at one PLE, then have the other tournament start and then finish at a different PLE. So both divisions can get equal shine on the talent on the tournament. Because when you have, every other week you have this fatal 4-way and that fatal 4-way and this, now we're doing this and we're going back to singles matches. It gets a little confusing to follow, and you're kind of distracted as to like, oh, okay, so he's already in. So, now we have this match. So you get distracted. So I think that'd be a good way to kind of help things out. Bronson Reed destroys Jey Uso. This was tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Seth Rollins' group, as Rick called them, the Vision, as I will be calling them for the rest of the night, the Vision, because I like that. Destroyed. They cleaned house. They wiped the floor with every match that they had. We had Braun Breaker destroy Sami Zayn. Bronson Reed and Jey Uso ended up in a no contest when Reed threw the chair at the dude's face. So Jey Uso technically wins that match, technically loses because he took a bunch of tsunamis. So he's cooked. Penta versus Seth Rollins. Never in my life did I think that I would see Penta versus Seth Rollins in the main event of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. And here it was. And it was solid for what it was. Listen, this was not going to be a clinic of wrestling. But for what we got here tonight between these two guys, this was a good appetizer of things I'd like to see happen again for 500. Please. Yes. Things I'd like to see happen again for 500. Alex, thank you very much. I would like to see Seth and Penta run it back again. I'd like to see him do it again and again and again and again, because I liked what I saw between these two boys tonight. I liked every second of this. Seth, what a scumbag. He uses his head to low blow Penta, causing the ref to be like, yo, what the hell did you do? Penta's out, down and out, eats a curb stomp. Seth Rollins beats Penta. Every person on Seth's group tonight stood tall in their matches except the visionary Seth friggin' Rollins, who ate a BFT by LA Knight, to end Monday Night Raw. Once again, more build up for Saturday night's main event. Gunther and Goldberg face to face. Goldberg slapped that fucking mic right out of Gunther's hands. Gunther's shaking in his pants. A man's European pants could not handle the dance tonight with Goldberg. So we build that. I was like, yo, we got Gunther coming out here. Where's this old son of a gun at? I'm literally talking out loud on the couch watching Raw. I'm going, where's that old bastard at? Because we're 5 days away from this Saturday night's main event. I haven't seen this guy since You're Next. Sure enough, here he comes, pulling up in the SS, baby. A little donut, a little burnout action coming into the arena in the old school. Love to see it. Car was beautiful. That cherry red. Oh, my God. Put me in one of those bad boys. Here he comes, Goldberg. There's your build right there. Seth got hit with a BFT by LA Knight. There's another build. We're going to pick up the build with Randy and Drew on SmackDown, and I'm sure there's another match I'm missing for Saturday night's main event that'll get announced within the next couple days. But like I said, the start of the show was Saturday night's main event building. The end of the show was Saturday night's main event building. There was 3 builds towards Evolution. The women had 1 match, 1 segment tonight, 1 video package. The men, there was a ton of stuff recapped and retold and recaptured throughout the show. That's really it. That's all I got here tonight, folks. I'm excited for these events, but at the end of the day, I'm pissed about this build to Evolution. And I'm going to tell you right now, these women, if you think these women are not going to go out there and give 135% of their core well-beings to steal the weekend Sunday night, you're out of your damn mind, because those women are going to put on one hell of a show. Every woman is going to go out there with a chip on their shoulder. Counter right here. You heard it here first on the Nightcap. MOWM. I've been putting you guys on for months. I've been telling you what was going to happen with the women's tag team division. I told you what was going to happen with the El Grande Americano bullshit. I told you what was going to happen with NXT, the call-up, Stephanie, Julia, probably Jordan Grace. I told you, I've been telling you, stop sleeping on your boy. I will be back Friday night for the Nightcap after SmackDown. Hopefully, Evolution will be built to a level where I will be satisfied. I will then be back at some point this week on social media. I will be doing Saturday night's main event predictions. There will be a social media exclusive across TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and whatever other social media platform I got out there. I don't fucking know. All-in predictions for AEW will be on my YouTube and audio platforms. Great American Bash and Evolution will be a combined video, audio episode. Those will be dropping. So you'll have 2 episodes dropping on my YouTube for All In AEW, and then Evolution, Great American Bash combined. Saturday night's main event predictions will be social media exclusive to TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and whatever other social media accounts I got out there. Shorts, YouTube Shorts, whatever. I don't know. I lost track. I'm just one man. One man can't change the world. One man can't cover all this wrestling, but I'm going to do it. And we're going to somehow figure out what we're going to do for this weekend. You tell me. You're watching the show. You see my social media right there at MOWM_podcast. You tell me, what do you want this weekend? Saturday night. Do you want a Nightcap after All of the wrestling is over, and we'll talk about the best of the best from the day of wrestling from Saturday. Do you want that? You tell me. Or do you want me live throughout the entire day on a marathon across Boom, MOWM, and social media, covering everything, watching everything live with all of you across the social medias? Tell me at MOWM_podcast. What do you want? You want one cohesive nightcap Saturday night? Or do you want the MOWM mega stream Saturday live during all of the shows? But I will have a nightcap Sunday after Evolution because I do want to talk about that. So you're going to get some bonus content this week. I'm a busy man. We're going to make it work. Second job's coming in clutch. Make sure you go like, subscribe, comment. Look, I even got a little thing tonight. Look at that. Hey, look, ring the bell. Like the video on YouTube. Go subscribe to Boom Broadcasting. We are 20 subscribers away from 600. Or are we? 60 away from 600. Something like that. I don't do numbers. I'm out of here. Show's over. Love you. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed